Hello friends, welcome to my YouTube channel. I'm glad that you have made out time to stop by and watch my video. My name is Eyum, and on this channel, I share with you the information and the inspiration that you need to overcome adversity. So if this is your first time here, you are welcome. And if you are returning, thank you for coming back again. I've been talking about personal growth this month. I started last week, so if you missed last week's video, I encourage you to check the description because the link will be there. Watch it and then you can continue with this one. Today, I'm going to start with this story. A few years ago, I went to visit a friend who was bereaved, and I met another friend there who came with some fresh vegetables and fruits. She had bananas, strawberries, apples, tomatoes, and they look so good. So I told her, where do you buy these fruits from? They look so nice. And she just smiled and said, I grow them in my back garden. Wow, that is so impressive, I said to her. Oh, it's very easy, she said. And she went on to explain the process of how she does them. A few days later, I came back to visit this friend of mine that was bereaved, and the same friend showed up again. But this time around, she came with some tomato seedlings for me. I brought this for you, she said. I was startled because I'm not really a fan of gardening. But to appreciate her kind gesture, I collected the seedlings from her. And she went on to explain, when you get home, till your garden a bit, transfer the seedling from the pot to the ground and make sure you water it every day. And before you know what's happening, you no longer need to buy tomatoes. So I got home. I didn't till my garden. I left the seedling in the pot, but I remembered to water it for a few days. The next time I remembered, it was days and maybe a couple of weeks. And when I ran outside to look at my plant, it had dried up with the leaves looking yellowish. Oh no, I lamented. My seedling never grew to produce fruits. While my friend is busy enjoying organic fruits and vegetables from her garden, I'm still having to buy them in the shop. This experience taught me that growth does not just happen. You have to be intentional in creating the right environment and proper nourishment for growth to take place. Have you ever wondered why, after a couple of years, a child is now taller, bigger, stronger, capable of handling more responsibilities? The answer simply is the child has grown. I was talking about physical growth last week, and I was making us to understand that without food, there's no way you can grow. So many times we take it for granted, thinking that physical growth is automatic. It's only automatic when the right seed have been sown, when the right nutrition have been taken in, then the growth seems to happen automatically. But in terms of your personal and your spiritual growth, you really need to be intentional, because growth does not just happen. You need to be very intentional in the steps you take towards your growth. You need to be intentional in taking in the materials that will help you to grow. You need to be intentional in creating the time for your growth. You need to be intentional in listening to the people that you know will help you to grow. You need to be intentional about the association you keep, because the Bible will make us to understand that evil company corrupts good manners. So if you want to grow, the association you keep is very important. There is a proverb, I can't remember exactly where it originates from, but it says that if your 5 closest friends are millionaires, guess what? The sixth millionaire is about to be born because you're in the company of millionaires. So the company you keep, you need to be intentional about everything. Growth doesn't just happen. So assuming you will grow automatically will not help you to grow. You need to be intentional. Number one, you need to be intentional about the materials that you take in. You need to be intentional about creating time to consume those materials. You need to be intentional about having a budget to purchase those materials if need be. You need to be intentional about the kind of people that you listen to. You need to be intentional about taking action about your growth. You may have good intention to grow, just like I had good intention concerning that seedling I brought home. If my intentions was not good, I wouldn't have collected it. Because as a person, I don't believe in waste. So if I didn't have the intention of watering that plant to grow, I wouldn't have collected it. But my good intention amounted to nothing. Because at the end of the day, good intention is not enough. But intentional action is what matters. So you need to be intentional about every step of your growth. And wishing you were better will not help you to grow either. Or hoping you will get better with time is not a strategy for growth. I've heard it said that hope is not a strategy. So hoping I will grow as time passes by is not a strategy for growth. And it will not help you either in your personal growth or your spiritual growth or even your professional growth. You need to take that intentional steps. Take action, because as you are also consuming the materials, you need to be intentional about acting upon what you are learning. And that is when growth takes place. Remember, getting older does not necessarily equate growth. When you get old, you get older with time, but growth equals maturity. Growth equals more wisdom. Growth equals you being able to handle more responsibilities. You being able to handle challenges. You being able to solve problems. So growth translates into better performance. So getting older happens with time. But maturity and doing all the things that I've talked about, improving your performance, improving your worth, happens with growth. So if you want to grow, you want to see a significant improvement in your personal and your spiritual growth this year, commit to personal growth. And if you want to know more about growth or you want a one-to-one support in your personal growth, feel free to reach out to me because I'm a certified life and leadership coach. And I'll be able to support you in your growth journey. And I also have a group called the Grateful Women, where we meet every Tuesday at 7 p.m. UK time on Zoom. So you can join us from any part of the world. In this group, we challenge ourselves to grow. I mentor the women there and we help ourselves to grow. And we share true life stories of how we can grow to overcome our obstacles. Because one of the major ways that have helped me to be able to overcome adversity is commitment to personal growth. So I want to challenge you. Make a commitment to personal growth. Become intentional about your personal growth. And when you look back after a couple of months, after a couple of years, you'll be amazed at the person that you have become. So once again, thank you for joining me today. And if this video has helped you in any way, why don't you like? Why don't you drop a comment? Let me know how it's helping you. And why don't you also share and subscribe to this channel so that anytime we upload a new video, you'll be notified. So for now, take care and I'll see you again next week where I'll be talking to you about having systems and strategies for growth. You don't want to miss that. So take care and I'll see you next week.